To continue the Xbox modding, I've now vetted all the plastics to suit where I'm going to put things. The sprues on the underside of the case have got those little buttresses, but they actually start quite a long way up, and they sit on top. Those posts sit on top of these, so there's plenty of room. Anyway, so that is where I'm putting that switch like that. It's actually, it's kind of hard to show you. Hang on, let's come out of it over the top. So that's going to sit on the case kind of about there. It's a little close to that cap. Unfortunately, that cap's been soldered in really badly, so it's wonky, and I can't actually move it any other because it's the negative lead that's, long, and the positive lead has been pushed right through at some point. So short of resoldering that cap, easiest thing is I'm just going to bend the tabs inwards a little bit towards that plastic divider. I broke off the other plastic divider because that's not needed. So that's where that's going to sit, and then this one is going to sit kind of here. And again, I made a mistake really with the positioning of the crystal, the oscillator. Now the pins, first of all, the pins are narrower than the plastic divider, and that plastic divider is sitting on the metal case there, but also actually when it's square it's just slightly above. Hang on, let's see if I can show. I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything there actually, but let's get these out of the way like that. That's going to sit kind of up like that. So there is enough room, but in any case, I'm going to bend those two legs just slightly out and away from the casing of the oscillator. Not that it should need it, because there's no way for it to actually contact through there really because of that plastic divider, but just still, just for peace of mind. So anyway, that's where those were going to go, and then the language switch is going to sit around here so that the resistors are kind of clear of those caps over there. So I got attacked it, and so it's not the neatest job in the world, as you'll see. The plastic is quite hard, but you have to go through quite carefully because it's old, so I didn't want to risk it. And then I sort of tidied it up a bit with a half-round needle file there and there, so that was happy enough. And then a little bit of research, and I found that the J cart, let's see if I get my, it's kind of hard to tell actually. I'll show you in the dust cover. On the European and let's get the screws out before they fall on the floor. On the American Genesis, the NTSC version, and on the Mega Drive in Europe, the cartridges and the cartridge slots have lugs, little square lugs like that, actually in the corners there. But the Japanese carts don't have that cutout on the cartridges. To be honest, a lot of cartridges are not region specific, and in fact the manufacturers then made the cartridges much smaller so that they would fit on the slot and would go through here without requiring any modification. They could go through in any region. A little bit of fettling. I had to do a lot of handwork with a needle file because with the curved slope and the difficulty of access and the fact that I've only got these huge, I think that's 30mm or thereabouts, cutting discs, and made a proper pig's ear of it. So I had to get the old half-round needle file out again and spend about 10 minutes just... still got a little bit of a burr along that edge there. Still had to finish all this off. I ended up making a bit of an error with the thing because, again, just because of the angle of access, I ended up cutting in on these back sort of edges here. So and you can see it's a little bit wider in the middle still, but it was really obvious before. But again, just a lot of work with the file, carefully, because you can't put too much force on this because it's old plastic and you never know when it might fracture. So took a while, but smoothed it off at least so it doesn't look so terrible. It's not exactly factory neat, but you know, it'll do. And you can see it here obviously against a light background, but with the dust cover in place, and once it's on the top of the actually down on top of the motherboard, you can't really see it because it's dark inside, so you know, it doesn't really show up. If I was going to put an LED backlight in the slot, it would be a problem, but I'm not.